Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to be taking a look at some unique Apple Store locations from around the world. I know this video is a little obscure, but I do find this stuff kind of interesting. You can take a look. I'll show some images of just a standard Apple Store. I don't have any Apple stores really near me. I think the closest one might be 40 minutes away. They're mainly just located in major cities, and the city that I'm closely located to, they don't even have one. So you can get the kind of the standard Apple Store with the glass. You go in there, it's like negative 40 degrees just because of they have just crazy air conditioning. But you can take a look at this first one. Apple, they opened their first store in Thailand in November of 2018. Take a little look-see at this design. Very interesting. They always have the trees on the interior and the exterior. Looks like a nice little glass facade with their logo. Apple does have a very clean logo. And then you do have an interesting roof design as well. There is the interior with the wood going up in a circular pattern extruding to the roof. And you do have a lot of impressive natural light. And they do always, in their major cities ones, have the staircase leading up or leading down to the actual store. A lot of the Apple stores, or the unique ones, will incorporate like a staircase that is almost see-through. It's almost like glass. This next one is located in Milan, and it has an attached waterfall mechanism to it that is shielded by glass. You go in underneath and enter the Apple Store, and you walk up from there. This one is really intricate. You can see it's like a little amphitheater on the outside. You can, sit down and look at the waterfall, and you can see you actually walk down surrounded by the waterfall. That's an impressive design. I always wonder with Apple, how many iPhones do they really keep in stock on any given day in these major cities? It would have to be, what do you think, a few thousand newer iPhones or whatever? What's the oldest version of iPhone they keep, I wonder? Maybe like a 14 or something. Maybe a 13, actually, because if they just came out with the 15, I actually get them confused because it's like, which one are we on at this point? But I think it is the 15 and like the 15S Pro. But yeah, that's an impressive store, no doubt. This next one located in Singapore. It opened in early 2017. This is probably the most unique one. It's located on water, and it's a circular dome design. To be honest, the exterior of it really, that's pretty ugly to me, the gray, and then I'm just not a fan of that look. But you can take a look at the interior. You can see they do have the trees on the interior going all the way around. You can get some natural light from the top and from the sides, little open vents going around there. Pretty unique thing, no doubt. Oh, maybe it is glass. Yeah, it's pretty cool if it is glass. I don't think I've ever actually gotten an iPhone from an Apple store. No, there's no way. Yeah, it's from like T-Mobile, or you go to Best Buy. I think normally I get it from T-Mobile. Whenever I go to an Apple store, normally it was like when I was on vacation in Chicago or something. It's in a mall. And then these are the two Dubai locations. So this first one, you can see all of the trees in the front center area. They got one tree per column, it looks like. Very nice. And then the interior of it's pretty standard. And then that's the other Dubai location. I believe that's inside of a mall. And there are the trees again going all the way around. And it's glass on the exterior. That's a normal Apple design when it comes to both of the Dubai ones. The craziest development I've heard, like a Dubai project, and I'm trolling here a little bit, but they wanted to build a retractable roof mall in Dubai. Imagine that. They're so obsessed with the retractable roofs, they want to put a mall. But that's what they do with all the money. It's just ridiculous. This is probably the most famous one, or one that people will be remembering, located on New York City's Fifth Avenue. It consists of 15 glass panels that are entirely self-supporting. A stainless steel staircase leads into the store below. So when I originally saw this, I thought that was the store. Because when you look at this glass cubicle from a little bit away, it does look like it's big enough to be an actual store. And it kind of saddened me when I heard that, no, you enter the cubicle and then you go downstairs and then it's underground. I wish they would just have it plainly in New York City, a bunch of iPhones sitting out just randomly, and you can see them through the glass. That would be crazy. I wish there was at least some display cases with iPhones at the top. You could say it's a security risk, but now when it comes to the iPhones, like the test iPhones where they'll put them out and they'll let you play with them, yeah, if you try and steal one of those, it'll like self-destruct, honestly, or it'll tell you that this is a test iPhone, it's in test mode. We know your location. The only thing you can do with it is destroy it. The iPhone becomes completely useless if you steal one of their dummy test models because Apple installed a firmware that makes it so. This next one, Apple opened a store in a refurbished bank building in Paris in 2010. The store is located just across from a famous opera house. And this is a really unique one because Apple basically took nothing in terms of their glass designs. This is all the normal bank and they just built around it. So that is cool. Reminds me of the McDonald's that, I was going over, the unique ones. This one definitely does not have the feel of an Apple store at all, outside of all of the Macs being out, all of the iPhones and such when it comes to that one. Also, they got a nice little Apple sign. That's the only thing on the exterior. This Apple store is located in Beijing's Sanlitun district. It is a large stainless steel structure and makes for an imposing presence. And that's another one of their schemes where you can see the staircase going all the way around, going down. They've got a nice little cylinder structure that is completely see-through there. And then the Apple store at the bottom, you can see the architecture, though, around the exterior of it, going all the way around it in a circle, kind of like a little pedestrian bridge. This is a newer Apple store located in Chicago, and they have had issues in terms of the winter months. Apparently, there are a lot of steps going down to this Apple store, and they struggle in terms of the steps being icy. I think they're going to pack up shop and leave Chicago with all the crime going down. I'm just kidding, although I wonder what would happen. I have seen things where people try and loot Apple stores, and the phones are just completely useless, so that's what they've done to kind of safeguard against it. It is almost inviting criminals. You have it's completely see-through, but that's a pretty cool one. The only issue is when it's winter and you're walking down the stairs to the store, it is a problem. This Apple store opened a few years ago in Japan, and this is a unique one. I'll give them credit. This is a very unique design. It is not glass. You can see, looks like rectangle panels, all with light illuminating out of the bottom of them. That's a pretty cool. That looks like it's from the 1990s, though. It looks like an office building from the 90s, but I like kind of the retro design. Oh, they've got the Batcave lighted ceiling. The lighted that's a nice little thing there, but those are just some interesting, unique Apple stores from around the world. My favorite one would probably have to be the bank, just because it is so unique, and that's the actual interior of it. A lot of these, like the glass box in New York, you can see it, but it's really just like the front part of it. You enter it and you go down, and the actual real store is kind of normal, as opposed to the bank being completely unique to, an Apple store, because it is just a bank and they put Apple products inside of it and they almost turned it into an Apple store without changing the overall architecture of it. My least favorite one, I would probably have to say the circle thing, the dome circle. It just looks a little strange to me. Some of these are a little more bland than others, but that one, the exterior architecture, I don't know. And then the interior, you look at it and it looks like there's vents. I mean, certainly it's unique, I'll give it that, but just in terms of the design, really not my favorite. And then when it lights up, I don't think it looks very good either. And then this is just something funny. This is the only Apple store in Alaska, located in Anchorage. It's just the standard design. I thought they might try and do some type of icebox design, but I guess because of the elements, they didn't want to put it outside, and also you're not getting much foot traffic, so the idea of making a standalone store in Alaska, it's probably not very appealing. This is located inside of a mall in Anchorage, but either way, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on X. Link to that's always in the description.